Shane, you have to be happy with that 3 points, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, we spoke over the weekend about how important this game would be. Like, because Friday night it was kind of, you know, it wasn't good enough really. To be honest, we knew ourselves that we started the game poorly, and we just couldn't get going after that. So we knew coming in tonight that we had to stamp our authority on the game early, like, and take the game to them, I suppose. And I think we done that. I think we defended much better. We were more compact, and then the lads in the front four and even midfield, they were producing again tonight, like, which is always important. And so yeah, it's a massive result really.
And that back four combination, no Benno, no Beats, did it take you a while to get settled in, I suppose?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but you know, the players that come in, I think the real strength of this team this year is just the strength in depth. You know, you can see Sean McLaughlin come in and had a great game, I thought. Conor McCarthy came in Friday night and tonight, first game of the season, he done well again. And you know, it is, I suppose, in training something we work on a lot. You know, not just the back four, all the defenders work together. So I think everyone kind of learns from each other, and everyone takes, you know, little qualities that everyone has and tries to add it to their own game. Like, so it benefits everyone really. You
missed a couple of chances, I suppose, to go 2-0 up in the second half. Rovers come back, they hit the bar. Were you kind of nervous at that stage?
Yeah, you would be, I suppose, because you know it's always when it's 1-0, the game's in the balance still, like, and they are usually chances that we would score, which was, you know, was a bit strange, I suppose, because we had so many. But and Rovers did put a lot of pressure on the last 15-20, like they even hit the crossbar at one stage, like, so it was, you know, it would have been nice to get the second goal, but I think we showed good grit and determination to not concede.
And I suppose after the defeat to the Dundalk, there was questions asked of you, was it important to go tonight just to make sure you got the 3 points?
Yeah, definitely. I think you know, we couldn't ask questions of ourselves really, like, we knew it wasn't good enough, so we wanted to prove that we can, you know, get back on track straight away, and as I said, like, a good start and take the game to them. So it was you know, it was a satisfying win.
How are you feeling physically coming into tonight, Shane? Obviously after you chasing the game for 86 minutes on Friday night, and then 72 hours later you're back out again, where the body's kind of aching?
It would be, to be honest. I think a big factor as well playing up in Dundalk is the pitch. You know, we kind of it's tough, like, because it's at this time of year a lot of the grass pitches are soft, like outside, and all of a sudden you end up on a pitch where it's kind of, you know, it's a hard kind of ground, like, so a lot of the lads were kind of complaining of niggles, you know, after the game. But you know, we were in over the weekend and we recovered properly, I suppose, and that kind of paid dividends in the end, like, because, you know, we were kept going to the final whistle tonight, I thought, and energy levels were good.
We spoke before about you know, the attacking side of your game is probably seen as your biggest strength, and you've been working on getting better defensively, and I think nearly in every game this season you've made a kind of a crucial intervention, either a block or a clearance off the line to deny the opposition a goal. Do you feel like your that side of your game is really coming along now?
Definitely, yeah. You know, as a defender you have to defend, like, there's no choice really, like, you know, that's my responsibility first and foremost, like, so I do a lot of work last season and near the end of last season, this season, Liam Carney, he does a lot of individual extras. I mean, you know, it's very beneficial. I think he's a great help, and he's always willing, like, to help. So it's definitely something I want to keep improving on, like, because, as I said, that should be the main part of my game. So I'd rather be a defender first and then be good at going forward, kind of thing.
Shane, what was your background? Did you play much left further when you were schoolboy level and underage football? Did you play further up the pitch, or?
I generally did play left back. I played left wing a small bit, centre mid a small bit, but yeah, generally was a left back kind of growing up. Yeah.
Shane, every game is like a cup final now, isn't it? Everybody's out to get you, so.
That's it, yeah. And you know, that's how we have to go into every game, because we know that that's what we're gonna expect from them. Like, they're going to up their game, so we have to match it and more. Like, so it's a case of, you know, preparing for every game like it is a cup final, because everyone's going to up their game and everyone wants to come down here. Just seen again tonight, it was 4,500 fans, like, so, you know, that's a platform for the opposition to do well in front of that, and it's a case, you know, we have to be on our toes at all times, like, and that comes with the pressure of being champions, I suppose.
And you were under the cash, really, the penalty kind of changed the game, didn't it?
I suppose it did, yeah. Yeah, you know, it was kind of in the balance, I think, for a lot in the early stages. You know, we're kind of battling to take control, and then I think it was Barry McNamee put a great ball into the box, and Graham shows his striker's instinct, and he gets ahead of the defender, hits the post, and again shows a great instinct by reacting. Like, so it's game that kind of changed the game, I suppose. Like, and that's little things, little bit of quality like that is what we need. Like,
just looking at the Friday night, Shane, another Munster derby. You did well against them last year. I suppose in most of the games, but they beat you in one of the matches. Could be sticky, even though they were hammered in the last few matches. Now they conceded 5 again tonight, so you fancy it?
Yeah,
Friday night.
Definitely. Yeah, you know, it's Limerick is always a tough game, really. I think because it's, as you said, it's a bit of a derby. Like, and I think we went down there last year, on the brink of win the league kind of thing, and you know they brought the game to us really. Like, and it scored 2 early goals, I think. So it's another tough game. Like, it's a big pitch down there, and you know, we'll have to prepare properly now again and do our homework on them.
You have a very strong squad, obviously fighting for places, and the team is stronger than ever, probably, is it?
Yeah, that's what I think. You know, even from last year, I think the quality of players that come in that aren't in the 11 at the moment. I think they're pushing the players in the team. Like, and it's, you know, you can see the players that come in to the 11. Like, they always slot in and perform really well. Like, so it's a case where everyone's performance level has to rise, or else you won't play, kind of thing. Like, you know, so it's good, healthy competition.
And great for you tonight on a man of the match.
Yeah,
you're enjoying your game.
Yeah, it's actually my first one, I think. So it was a nice one. Yeah.
After Friday night in Limerick, the way the fixtures are falling, you have 2 home games to come next week. Are you looking at that as an opportunity to maybe open up a bit of a gap at the top? I suppose you would, yeah, you know, but we're not really looking beyond Friday, you know, already, like, because it's every game is so tough, and you know, at this stage, you know, you need to just concentrate on the single game really, because if you can get a bit of a league and a bit of momentum, like, maybe then you can look elsewhere, but it's just way too early at the moment, like, to kind of look at anywhere else ahead rather than the next game.
And Shane, just in terms of the work you're doing at Liam Kearney, what was involved with that?
So he does a lot of, obviously he was a winger as a player, great player, like, so he'd tell me what he didn't like playing against, and he'd tell me little pointers, little tips, and then he'd get maybe one of the wingers, and he'd get them to run at me, and he'd get them to try to get across into the box, for instance, or something, and then I'd practice blocking across, and then he'd be watching it and studying it, and then he'd tell me where I can improve and stuff, just little things like that, like, and you know, he's great because he's always available, like, and he's always willing to help, and he loves to help, like, so it's great to have something like that.
So you say your game has improved now, you think this season, Shane, because of all this work, and do you think you've much more to improve in, and a lot more to come, is there?
I feel so, yeah. I feel you know, I'm still learning the game, I suppose, as a lot of other people are, but you know, I'm willing and want to get better really, like, and I want to improve, so it's you know, every day in training, every day in the gym, whatever it is, you know, you just have to strive really to get better, like, so it's kind of up to myself really. Just
talking to a few fellas the last one, including Ryan, who was here last year, you know, players at Rovers and other clubs, Dundalk, Dan Cleary said, and another fella said it, come home from England, that you can play loads of under-23 football and development football in England. There's nothing that beats playing first team here in this country. It's completely different.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think you know, you can play development football. I played it for 3 or 4 years, I think, and it got to a stage like where it was so repetitive. I think, you know, it didn't really matter who won. It was kind of a, you know, behind closed doors kind of games. It's like a training game really, like, and you know, neither team really wants to win, and you have the excuse all the time if you didn't win. Oh, it's development football. So I think it's good, obviously, for the younger lads making the jump into first team football. But I think it gets to the stage where it's, you know, it's too much, and you need to get out and play men's football, like.
Aside from like the obvious goals of, you know, winning games and winning trophies this year, have you any kind of personal objectives in terms of, you know, looking at obviously like say Kevin Shawnee gone up to England and seeing what Cork City did for them as a platform? Is it in the back of your mind to get back over? I know you're not back that long as it is, but is that something that you're thinking of as well?
Long term, probably, yeah, it would be, but I think I have a lot to learn, really, to be honest. I have a lot to improve on, and I feel like I'm at the right place, really, at the moment to improve, like, you know, John Codler Liam Kearney, Sean Caulfield, they're all, you know, great coaches in my eyes, like, and they're great help. So I think I'm at the right club anyway to improve, to give myself the best chance, like, so it's going to take it from there really.
The real winning mentality, isn't there?
Massively.
At the, on the bench.
Massively, and I, you know, kind of think they breed confidence as well. You know, they kind of tell you what you can do instead of, you know, I think I was in England for a few years and playing development football, and it was always what you can't do. You know, what you're not good, what you're not doing, why you're not in the first team. And I think I remember came back here and he said, "Oh, you're good at that. Like you can do that well, do that." Like, so then you start thinking, "Oh, you know, maybe you forgot you could do that well." Like, so it's just a different way of looking at things as well, and I think it works really well for him.